Can expect clear skies with a low of 11 degrees.
I love the bit much.
After bath, should we all have ice cream because it's a weekend? Aren't you lucky, Isaac?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You too.
Yes, I'm very lucky as well. Should we get the birthday cake flavor or should we get the chocolate flavor?
Chocolate flavor and birthday cake.
Both of them?
We'll say for little Ayla.
Ayla can have yogurt. Isn't that right?
Oh, yeah. What fun idea.
Want to put the marshmallows on your ice cream?
Yeah.
Ooh.
What was your favorite part to bite?
Was my favorite part of today
Yeah.
having ice cream with you guys and
Yeah,
watching
that
Paw Patrol.
was my favorite part as well.
This one is going to be for Domo's, and his will be, I think it's like a pain relief medicine.
Yeah.
Yesterday was a Sunday and I thought I'll take both kids to an indoor soft play. And usually like weekends are pretty busy. I was just like chilling with Ayla because obviously she needs assistance. Isaac is a bit more independent so he can play all the bigger stuff. So usually in soft plays you have like the play part and then there's like a little cafe area, I guess, where parents can have a cup of tea, get a snack, and I'm guessing that's where the parents are because there's all these kids, not a single parent in sight. There was this one kid, I'm guessing like similar age to Ayla, maybe a little bit older, but whatever Ayla was playing, she'll come over and like rip her off and she'll say no. So I thought, okay, I'll just put Ayla somewhere else. And she kept coming over and just ripping her off again. So around the third or fourth time, this is when I'm realizing like I don't see the parent in sight, so I'm gonna come here and do a little bit of parenting. So then I turn the little girl towards me and I'm down at A level and I say, it's not nice to do that, it's nice to share it, but she's obviously not listening to me at this moment. She actually turns back to Ayla and starts to yank her. And this is when Ayla, like, I think she's had enough. So the girl was yanking Ayla and then this is when Ayla grabs the girl's arm and just throws it backwards. She wasn't even using that much force, it was just like, and the girl went flying on the floor. A part of me was like, oh my gosh, and then a part of me was like, now you know how it feels. I think the girl was a bit shocked and then she moved on to this other kid and like she ended up pushing him too, and by the time I helped the little boy up, the girl's mom came over and I'm assuming she came over because she saw Ayla yank her little girl down, so maybe to her it seemed like we were the bullies. But yeah, it was just crazy there. Yesterday it was like a battlefield, like every minute there was a kid crying. Kids coming to me saying, he just pushed me. Me trying to break up fights, me trying to cause peace, like, hey, I'm not even getting paid for this. I only have love for these two kids. Yeah, it was just madness. Madness, madness, madness. And then after I took the kids to visit my granny Bubs, just in a nutshell, lots of crying fits, very emotional kids today. Broke up a lot of fights. And I thought maybe because they're still not well, maybe that's why they're so emotional. Like, what am I? Last night when all the kids are down, I'm ready to go to bed. I look at the window and I see a beautiful full moon. And I'm like, is that why not only my kids, but like all the kids yesterday were going crazy? Apparently it's a thing, you know, like supposedly like teachers know if a full moon is coming because their classroom goes insane. Isaac's currently in nursery. He'll be there for 2 hours, so hopefully gonna prep the lunch, pick him up, and then by the time we come back, I have to immediately feed the kids. Domo update. Still, he doesn't want any of us to touch him. Like, it's weird because usually if I were to like make him feel better, I'll give him loads of cuddles, but he cannot be touched right now. And I was told to like call a vet today on a Monday to book a X-ray appointment. And then I'm told on the phone that he can only get an x-ray if he's been fast the night before. And I wish they told me that because now we gotta wait for tomorrow. Domo! Domo! See, he's not even like coming to me. Domo! Domo! Yeah.
Can expect clear skies with a low of 11 degrees.
won't say my name, but whatever. Getting ready to pick up Coco from nursery. But first, gonna prep the lunch so when we come back, everybody can eat. It's been about an hour since I got really emotional on Instagram. Just thanking you guys. If you guys don't know, Tim is out of the country a lot of the year. I always say like I've gotten used to it, but it can be really tough, especially with everybody being ill. I thought I was getting better, and then I got this annoying earache thing. I have friends and family that, you know, I talk to, and they're really wonderful, but it's just I don't really know anyone around me that can relate. When a lot of you guys told me your stories, and it just gave me perspective again. People are used to coming to me for encouragement. You just have no idea how much healing it helps when someone just encourages you, gives you a little bit of love. Someone telling you, you know what, you're doing great. Because I feel like a lot of mums, like I'm guilty of doing this, but I think a lot of mums just put a lot of pressure on themselves. There's quite a lot of mum guilt, but it just means the world's difference when a fellow mum says, hey, I got you boo, you're doing fine, keep going. We're at the vet appointments today. He actually seems a lot happier actually. He let me hold on to his paw when we were sleeping, and then we woke up and he was like licking my face, and then he was actually fighting for food for Chubby, so he's a bit of Domo is definitely back. Morning everybody. Just collected Isaac from nursery. Instead of going straight to x-ray, the vet just gave him like a little checkup, and flexibility seems to have improved a lot. There is some stiffness still, but a lot better. So just like, let's wait a week and see if he still needs it. Keep him on the pain relief medication. He does seem much better. Like, no, for the very first time.
Yeah. High five.
High five. Mommy, kind of holding Ayla here. High five. High five. Currently at the airport, seeing Granny Bubzvlogz, just waiting for the wheelchair assistants to come. Look at her hat. My marble contact paper finally came. So the reason I wanted to get this is because, look at Isaac. A sticker book, hours of fun. But anyways, but not that I have a problem with how my dresser looks, but you can see where the water seeped in. So it's kind of an eyesore, so I was hoping maybe this can cover it and maybe even spice it up a little bit.
What's this in your bag?
Ta-da! My dresser looks so much more expensive. Obviously, because the parts here are raised, you can still see, but at least it's not as obvious because I managed to fold it right over here. You can see it's not perfect. There are some bumps in here, which will probably really bug me, but hey, it also reminds me that life is not perfect. Life is not perfect. As much as you try. Now, doing the same for this one, because as you can see, the water seeped in, and yeah. And I can spill to my heart's desire. I'm a bit obsessed. Of course, still has to be baby proofed. You gotta do what you gotta do, but voila! It's a brand new dresser. Although also I should have bought more because I don't have enough to do this one. No, this one looks so bleh compared to that one. My brother told me for these bubbles, you just take a little pin and just sort of give it a little poke and it should go away. Oh, it's working. Just did my nails. This is the first time I'm wearing black nail polish. Really nice day. Super thankful for my mother-in-law. She came by to look after the kids so I could help Granny, help her pack, bring her to the airport, make sure she's got wheelchair assistant, because I've been anxious. Like, I've had trouble sleeping for a week because I'm terrified of her landing in London and no one approaching her with a wheelchair. She doesn't speak the language. she's badass, but she can be very dependent. So I just had the worst scenarios of her getting lost in the airport, and I made sure a lot in the airport that she would be taken great care of, especially because my granny, you know, she's an old lady, and every time she flies there's basically a risk. I was reminding her constantly, like, when you're on the airplane, keep walking, you know, you want to keep the circulation going. One thing I dreaded doing though with the airport, you know how badass my granny Bubs is. She has a really badass name. Her when I was doing assistance, they're like, oh, so what's her name? So I was like, just call her Mrs. Ho. They're like, but what is it? Her name is Fukyu Ho. So I showed him the piece of paper instead, and the guy he just kind of like laughed a lot. Yeah, got back home, and my mother-in-law made us dinner, and she even made soup, which I really appreciated. So thankful for her. I feel like the past week the germs and hormones probably got the best out of me. I don't know what happened, guys, but I was just like an emotional mess. It's already been like 8 days, and Tim's back in a couple of days, so time's flying and I'm feeling grateful. Really feeling this, by the way. I just got more contact paper. I want to contact paper everything.